Hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. In this series of videos, we're looking at how to use Universal Audio's Luna software. I've had a couple of requests in to show how I mix the vocal for Falling to Pieces, which was featured on the Universal Audio's Luna Office Hours episode 20, where I went through some of the mix on here, but we didn't concentrate too much on the vocal chain. Now that's what we're going to be doing today. So if you haven't liked and subscribed already, like and subscribe and you'll be notified of any future videos that come out from the Studio Rats. Right, let's get to it. So what I've got here is the mix vocal, and I've also duplicated that track and I've taken all the effects off so we can start from scratch on this. So let's have a listen to the vocal, how it sounds fully mixed.
I choose my color, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now. You're telling me just how I'm levitating 10 feet off ground, but what's getting under my skin, under my skin.
So the first thing I'm going to do is to switch on Oxide. So let's do that and let's turn up the saturation.
Choose my color, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now.
So what I've done there, I've just added a tiny bit of saturation, which is just, to my ears, just giving it a bit more compression, just a tiny bit, and it's just brightened up the vocal a little bit. So let's have a look at the first plugin. So if I click on my first insert slot, and I'm going to insert a dynamic EQ. Now there's a few dynamic EQs, and you could use the Oxford dynamic EQ that comes in the UAD platform, but for this I'm going to choose the Maag DSP one, that is called the AE400. So if I just type up here AE4, so instantly the plugins come up that represent those letters. So let's just click on that. Now the great thing about this plugin is you can control frequencies that are bothering you. So what I'm going to do is to click on the solo button.
I choose my colors, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now.
So this is quite a nicely recorded vocal. What I want to do with it is to just control a few frequencies that are bothering me and use compression just to even out the performance a bit. So I'm going to use this first frequency here, and I'm going to click on the speaker icon, and that's going to solo that frequency. And what I'm going to do is to move the frequency up until I find the point where the frequency is bothering me.
I'm levitating 10 feet off ground.
And let's increase the Q. Now as you can hear, we've got this resonant frequency around here, so I'm just going to control this. I'm going to bring the gain down a bit. And turn the ratio up, and let's bring the threshold back. So as you can hear, every time it hits that frequency, it's just controlling the level a bit. And let's take it out solo. Okay, great. Now there's another frequency that's bothering me a little bit. Let's find that. Let's solo band 2.
I choose my colors, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now.
And again, let's bring back the gain, the threshold. Let's turn the ratio up a bit. And let's increase the Q.
I'm levitating 10 feet off ground, but what's getting under my skin.
And let's take it out of solo mode.
I choose my colors, won't put me under.
As you can hear and see, it's controlling those frequencies just when those annoying frequencies come in. Right, let's move on to band 3. I can hear another problem frequency around about 1 kilohertz. So let's just put band 3 in solo mode. And let's just bring the frequency back.
I choose my colors, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now. You're telling me just
and let's increase the Q.
I'm levitating 10 feet off ground.
Bring back the gain and the threshold, and let's increase the ratio again.
I choose my colors,
Let's take it at solo.
won't put me under, I'm voting for you
And let's bring back the
now.
threshold just a bit.
You're telling me just how I'm levitating 10 feet off ground.
And as you can hear, it's just controlled that word ground. Let's just hear that with the plug-in bypass.
I'm levitating 10 feet off ground.
And again with it in.
I'm levitating 10 feet off ground.
Now there's one more thing that's bothering me, and it's just controlling the sibilance. So let's bring the frequency back to about 5k and let's solo the last band. Let's turn up the Q a bit. Right, let's bring back the gain and the threshold. Right, I want to keep the Q a little bit wider on this as I want to control the sibilance. And let's bring back the threshold just a little bit more. And as you can hear and see, just when he's saying the trash word, the T, it's just controlling that a bit more. Let's take it out solo and let's hear it again.
I choose my colors, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now.
Right, now I've corrected the sound of the vocal to how I want it. Now I'm going to start to bring in some other plugins. So let's bring in an EQ, and I'm just going to use FabFilter ProQ for this. Because I've fixed a lot of the frequencies, I don't feel the need to boost any frequencies, so I'm just going to low cut.
I choose my colors, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now. You're telling me just how.
And I'm just bringing back the low cut just to the point where I can hear it kick in.
I'm levitating 10 feet.
Right, let's increase the dB per octave to 18. Now that's all I'm going to do with that EQ. The next plugin that I'm going to bring in is a compressor. And for this, we're going to use one of the UA plugins. And I'm going to use the UA 176. So let's just type in 176 in the search bar up here. Now, I really love this compressor. You can really slam the vocal and it sounds quite natural, but it brings out a really nice presence.
I choose my colors, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now.
Okay, let's turn the input right up and let's bring the output back.
I choose my colors, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now.
So now that's really controlling the dynamics of the vocal. It's a little bit harsh, so I'm going to play around with some other parameters, but just have a listen to it when I turn it off.
Won't put me under, I'm voting for you now. You're telling me just how.
And let's bring it in.
I choose my colors, won't put me under, I'm voting for you now.
Right, let's increase the release.
I choose my colors,
just so it sounds a little bit more natural.
Me under, I'm voting for you now.
And let's just speed up the attack a bit as well.
I'm levitating 10 feet off ground. No one's getting
let's hear that in the
under my skin. Under my skin. People talking trash just right now.
Right, I think we can increase the ratio just a little bit. So let's just turn up to 4:1.
I choose my color. Won't put me under. I'm voting for you now. Telling me this out. I'm levitating 10 feet off ground.
Right, so that's starting to really nicely control the dynamics. Now, we've also got this control here called vernier. So if I turn that on, now what we can do, as opposed to the controls being indented, now they're smooth controls. So have a look at the difference. Okay, let's move on to the next plugin. So the next plugin that I'm going to add is the Maag EQ, which is another UA plugin created by Brainworks. So let's just type in Maag, and we're going to choose the EQ4. Now, all I'm going to do on this is just to use the airband. So let's solo the vocal, and let's put it on 40 kilohertz. And let's turn it up.
I'm levitating 10 feet off ground. No one's getting under my skin.
Now this is a really great way of adding presence to your vocals, but have a listen to the difference if I turn it off.
I choose my colors, won't put me
and bring
under.
It in.
I'm voting for you now. You're telling me just how.
So it's giving it that really nice modern vocal sheen. There's one more plugin that I'm going to bring in, and that's going to be a limiter. Now, I'm not really going to be limiting that heavy. I just want to control the very peaks. So let's use a Waves L2 for this. Now, one of the great things about L2 is it is quite transparent, and you've also got this control here where you can adjust the threshold and the output ceiling so you're not adding any extra gain. Let's have a look.
I choose my colors, won't pull me under. I'm voting for you now. You're telling me just how.
Let's just bring it back just so it's grabbing the peaks.
I'm levitating 10 feet off ground. No one's getting under my skin.
So as you can see, it's just tickling the limiter. Now let's have a listen to that in the track.
I choose my colors, won't pull me under. I'm voting for you now. You're telling me just how.
So let's have a listen to it again with all the plugins in bypass.
I choose my colors.
And let's bring them all in.
Won't pull me under. I'm voting for you now. Telling me just how. I'm levitating 10 feet off ground. No one's getting under my skin.
So that's all of the insert effects. Now join me in the next video where I'm going to be looking at all the send effects and automation. I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. I hope you guys got something out of that. Don't forget to like and subscribe and you'll be notified of any future videos that come out from the Studio Rats. I'm Paul and I'll see you next time. Cheers.